DCA adventure is rated F for fucking awesome.
Yo, Crypto Nation and I almost said mining family, man. I was like doing that stream earlier today. But yo, it's another FA for Friday coming right back up at you guys.
It's okay, man. We're mining family too.
I know we all the families do kind of blend together over the years, don't they?
They sure do. Especially when it's crypto related.
Those lines have been blurred and obfuscated. What is going on, everybody? Let's see. We got our favorite people here. We got Chris. We got Mikkel. We got Gundy and myself. Nemesis. What's happening? I see as everybody's starting to slowly slide in. Certainly smash that lizardy like button. Subscribe, hit the bell notification. All that good stuff. Yo. Just saying. Y'all better be doing that stuff. We know how algorithms and YouTubes work. We must appease the AI gods.
I know nothing about being a boob tuber.
Is it tomorrow or Sunday that they're taking TikTok off the market?
Sunday.
Sunday.
I'm gonna buy it for.
Oh my god, there are so many people just fucking losing their absolute minds over this. And it's like, y'all know that this was happening, that this isn't something, oh my god, a new revelation. That's starters.
It's just in your face now. It's like,
right.
It's called censorship.
and then it's just hilarious how
knock, remember me?
And then you got all these like these liberals. I'll just say it. I'll be nice to them.
Yeah.
And they're like,
when
they all hate us anyway.
All right. I'll specifically do, like, if you guys want to go on to Twitter, man, you can see how I lit up fucking Eric Voorhees.
No. Poor guy. He probably cried.
Did he have to retreat into his safe space?
I don't know. I haven't seen him like he'll probably do what he normally does, which is ignore me. He doesn't like to respond to me too often.
Yeah, well, when you blast somebody's values straight up out of their realm.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! Oh fuck yeah, dude!
Facts.
It's like
they're like,
I'm all about being, you let people be, let a free market make a decision. I'm all about that, okay? Yeah. But I have that within a realm of agreeable reason.
Yeah.
Like for instance, which was like my argument to him. I'm like, we're not going to let food processors start processing human meat and selling it because a free market should fucking decide any more than you're going to let your kids fucking pour gas over their head and light a match. It's like, come the fuck on, dude. I'm like, there's there's a point where everybody's like, yeah, let's stop stupid.
People can't make life decisions on their own.
And there was this fucking, then there was like a libtard that fucking chimes in on this. Some rando. And I'm like, dude, you're missing the fucking point, dude. And he's like, I'm like, you don't understand a fucking hypothetical, do you? I'm like, and he's like, he's getting hung up on the idea that I was like fucking sitting there going, you're not going to let people put fucking human meat out there, dude. And he's getting hung, oh, there be whistleblowers, oh, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, you're missing the point. He's being let the free market fucking make a decision bullshit. And he's like, oh, what's so bullshit about that? And I'm like, what happens if a fucking company wants to sit there and put human meat in the fucking their products? Yeah. And his first thing is like, well, did they kill them? I'm like, that's all I need to know about you, buddy. I'm like, you told me everything. Cannibalism. Right? I'm like, yeah, you just told me everything you want me to know.
It's a shame.
It's like there's gotta be a point where you're like, yeah, there's that line.
Speaking of that, whose bags are pumping this weekend? Yay!
Oh, everybody's bags are pumping. Pump it up.
Bags are pumping up. They're gonna be pumping up.
All those shit coins you held on for all those years. This is why.
Now is your time.
Hey, man! Is it? Are we waiting like 3 days for LAMBOLAND?
LAMBOLAND?
LAMBOLAND.
3 more days?
3 more days, right?
I mean,
oh, Black Betty, LAMBOLAND. Oh, LAMBOLAND.
I'm ready to be able to afford life. How about that? Like, how about I can like go out to eat and not have to worry about how much is my fucking bank account?
Or the grocery store.
How about we start with that? I'll be okay with that.
Yeah,
the grocery store.
That won't happen.
Yeah.
We still have an overinflated
A cart at the
government.
grocery store for less than $400.
We won't see that. We still gotta cut down. We
have to worry about whatever it costs.
Yeah,
we gotta cut down omnibus bill and still more inflation coming from our over bloated fucking government, printing money at will.
Just fire them all, man. That'll free
Wish
up a
we
lot of free
can
money for
like
us.
do that. Them like I mean I always sit there and I think back of what would our forefathers have done in this situation, and I have a feeling that they would have had a fire.
Yeah,
And there would have been some tar that would have gotten warmed up.
Not like
and they would have found all the chicken feathers in the yard and collected them all. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not saying anything.
Our day of hay picks and garden hose are coming, so you know. But I think we should just go after all the politicians who did insider trading, and we'll just take all their gains from them and give it back to the people. That would be the fair thing to do.
Yeah, but see, that would make too much sense. And, you know, they're not going to vote themselves out of a...
Well, they're not going to
means of
have to.
making
They're going to be
millions.
forced to because they broke the law and they screwed us over. And we want fucking reparations, bitch. Let's go.
Hey, the good news is the government has not sold a single Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It's our money and we want it now.
I mean, that is good news. Like,
Yep.
you know, there's
Great
lots of
news.
rumors floating around that, you know, deep state created Bitcoin, this and that. So, we'll see when the chips fall down.
I mean,
Better have
Biden
one bag of
authorized
this.
it, plus all the pardons.
Yeah. Well,
all your family's good, right, Chris?
Yeah, we're good. The fires are
Everybody.
like 108 miles away from us.
Oh,
Okay.
sweet.
That's not very far, but
yeah, that's really not. When it comes to wildfires, that's pretty close.
It's a lot farther away than it was, back in September when I was sharing photos of like the smoke
yeah.
in my
Oh, yeah.
neighborhood.
That was the close one.
Yeah, that was the close one. That was like on the mountains right behind my house, where
Yeah,
we
But
actually
everything, but
evacuated.
like you have no family is
Everybody's
No.
fine.
That's
That's
because he's under the protection of the DCA umbrella. So yeah. We're all looking out for you with our words, you know,
Appreciate it.
and our thoughts, among other things.
well,
So, how
Sounds
far
good,
away from you are you from Moss, California?
No clue. Never heard of it.
Really? So if you wanted to know that if there was maybe a
Don't know,
potential that there
never
was
heard.
God, I mean, I would think that God would be like, yeah, this place here needs to learn a lesson and let me smite it off the planet. And I think it'd be California at this point. You know, with
Yeah.
the fire after fire after fire after fire. And now a battery storage plant catches fire in Moss, California.
Oh, God. Yeah, battery
Moss
fires are
Landing,
fun.
Oakland mayor indicated. So it can't be far from Oakland. I would
Yeah,
think.
I'm nowhere near Oakland.
Okay.
Oakland is closer to San Francisco.
Okay.
Yeah, that's much farther north.
Yeah, that's like 8 hours.
Yeah, that's far.
So it's like I think God's trying to burn everything on that is California now.
Maybe he's got
Fire
insider
cleanses all.
knowledge.
Fire cleanses all.
Maybe he's got
Like a
insider knowledge.
phoenix
He knew
that'll
Chris was
rise
a
from the
good guy,
ashes.
so he made the fire go the other way.
Well, the winds carry the flames.
They do. It has nothing to do with emptying your reserves of water
No, nothing at all.
or not cleaning
No,
up
no.
any of the dried debris from ever.
or saying, you know what,
Yeah.
it's too expensive to actually fix the
Yeah.
levees, so we're
I
just
mean,
gonna, let the
Just
water
give
go.
another 300 million to the homeless. That sounds like a great idea.
because logging is so horrible for the environment that you can't take down a couple of trees here and there just to thin it the fuck out.
Well, you're not supposed to grow food at home either. That's bad. That's bad carbon footprint stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
You're
plants,
creating-
breathing
you're
all
creating
that carbon
global warming.
dioxide and turning it into oxygen. That's bad for the environment.
Yep, just like your Bitcoin miner's bad for the environment, but Google and Amazon web hosting services are good for the environment.
Oh yeah, the amount of petaflops and kilowatts used is a no problem. No problem.
No problem.
Oh, but,
No
but in California, it's not a problem because our state's trying to be clean. We don't use fossil fuels for our energy. We just buy our energy from other states that use fossil fuels. So it's not our fault.
Right.
Well,
It's gaslighting on an epic scale, and then
However
what's
you gotta
even
use those carbon credits.
and what's even funnier is that Gavin Newsom campaigned on the whole idea that he was wanting to prevent the very forest fire that's going on right now. That was
I highly doubt it
whole...
because if you dig deep enough, you'll find that so coincidentally, the areas that they let burn is where they're planning a smart city. But people don't want to sell their homes.
That's where the speed rail's going.
I mean, it's no different than the frontiers when they were trying to take people's land to build the railroads.
It's a land grab. They're
Hey man,
habitable, and then
they did give them
a
cost of living raise though for being in California versus North Carolina. North Carolina got $750.
Yeah.
California got $770.
Oh, woohoo! My $7.7 million mansion
the 770,
burned down.
like the 700 something's going to go way further in North Carolina than here, like twice as far. Prices.
Oh yeah,
everything's expensive.
You know what happens next year in tax time when you get rid of all these millionaires up on the hill? There's gonna be no one to pay the taxes, and you're gonna be heaving up more Schitt's Creek next year. Run far away from California. It's the gold rush, but in reverse.
Smart money flees.
Oh man.
I think Chris, you can play fire simulation now. Pretend your house is on fire and run. What's wrong with you?
Oh, trust me, I'm already
terrible.
Stacking cash for the move.
Like, don't get robbed again.
Shit ain't cheap.
Soon, it's almost there. He's one step closer. He has
fucking
a plan
awesome
in action.
It's awesome.
You know what I mean?
Woo! I give him a round of applause.
Wherever you go is better
Thank
than
you. Thank you.
better than
It's like make a
the
plan,
fiery
execute the plan.
the fiery trap that you're in.
And then when shit hits the fan, throw away the plan.
Yeah.
And just do the plan. The plan goes from future to now.
Meow, right meow.
Right meow.
Palisades.
Like they're now sitting there going that the California fire is now the most expensive fire possibly in the world.
Of course it is.
Because of the amount of houses.
Homes.
But you want to know what's even more fucked up about this? Tell me there's no money laundering whenever there's about 30 of the fucking top officials for Ukraine that had multi-million-dollar houses that also burnt up in Palisade. Tell me there's no fucking money laundering going on.
Allegedly.
But the fire jumps across like roads and stuff to like the other side of the road. I mean, I've never seen it before in my life, but like,
oh no, you get now that much. Now that much, I will sit there and say you're dealing with drought conditions, high winds, burning embers floating around. I see the possibility of things jumping. Okay. Now the criticizing that people were having that the trees lit up. It was like, no, the trees didn't really light up. It was everything around the trees that lit up. It lit some of the trees, and the winds tried to stoke the trees, but the trees were still living and had moisture in there. So as soon as the bulk of the fire went past, the trees were extinguished out because they still carried good enough water.
Didn't have enough.
But there are houses out there that did not have smart meters that did not light up.
Yep. I saw a video about that.
I did too. Imagine that.
And then there were people that knew the fire was coming, that had actually shut the gas off at the meter. That also helped save their house too.
You know what else helps? Turning on your water sprinklers.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a guy out
the
there.
only thing that breaks my
heart climbs up on top of his roof and gets the dadgum water sprinkler that just goes.
Oh yeah. Just use your pool water. Fucking why not? It's there. If you have no house, your pool is useless.
But the resale value, Nim.
Yeah. Spray the pool water. It'll have resale value. There was a guy who had one of those fucking portable fucking water pumps. And fucking lit that up in there. He was sitting there hosing his property down, hosing his roof down from his pool. Because the water was there was no water pressure at that point in time.
Yeah. It's a good reason to have a pool. Spare reserve of water.
Hell yeah.
Color blue.
Especially, and here's the other crazy thing. Fire departments are looking at Gavin Newsom because for some reason, they would pull up to a fire hydrant and there would be no water.
I know. Could you imagine, like, especially in today's world, where you got emergency people on site plugging into the shit and turning it on, and it's fucking bone dry.
Yep.
No. What's even more fucked up?
Inexcusable. That's ridiculous.
What's more fucked up is they're like, well, the reservoir was full. We don't understand what happened.
Yeah.
And there was a guy that went down to where that said reservoir was, and you could see that the reservoir didn't even have markings that it was ever full in the last fucking 5 years.
Decade, yeah.
Like if it's full on a regular basis, it usually leaves that like water crest line where it usually
some
sits
sort of residue.
Some kind of residue, right? Yeah, no. That fucking water was all the way at the bottom.
Was off,
There was no reserve water. And the two reserves that they also had were bone dry too. It's like, oh my fucking God, the backup for the backup was done. Oh, you failed at life. Everybody involved should be fucking resigning or being. Well, I heard Newstrom is getting recalled now, or
you keep calling him Newstrom.
I would Newsom. Fine, Newsom, whatever.
I mean, I don't give a shit. I mean, dude's such an idiot.
Dungstrom.
Yes,
dumbass. We'll just call him dumbass. All right,
Governor Dumbass.
Right, Governor Dumbass that decided to save a fish instead of save lives.
You like with the smelt, you guys. We diverted a whole entire river into the ocean for smelt.
That's not even endangered.
Nope.
They have them by me mysteriously.
I mean, dude, you could write
The same fish. It's by me.
You could just go off of like a stand-up and like just discuss the policies that have been going on in the past like 3, 4, 5 years.
Oh, Rob Schneider's already doing that.
Oh, I know.
You remember from Rob Schneider, that's always been around Adam Sandler and the guys from all of the Happy Madison Productions.
He's getting big hate from.
We haven't seen him in a while.
I follow him on X. Oh my god, dude!
He's getting
gold.
big hate from his kids.
Absolute fucking gold.
It's like he was said,
he's a hardcore liberal convert. He's now a conservative. He's like, screw this. These guys are fucking nuts.
No, I would say that, it's like, I find that people are just going, whoa. I can't, why did everybody take one step towards crazy? I'm not part of this. And they're just going, let me stand back to where I was originally at. Right? And somehow you're in a new zip code. You're like, wow, I went from being kind of center left to being centered to being right wing to right wing extremist conservative.
Yeah.
The fuck happened to this? Where did the conservative come in? I haven't fucking stepped left or right yet.
You got those people who got fooled by the first Obama term and wanted change. And most of those people probably voted the complete opposite direction by this point. And it's not because they changed their party values. It's because their party values changed them.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see the Mel Gibson? He had like he had an interview about the whole fires and everything. And he was like, was like egging on the. He goes, "What if it was intentional?" And he like goes on like a whole like spiel. It was pretty wild.
Well, you're seeing reports of people that have been arrested for suspicion of arson in California.
Oh yeah, there was.
No, I mean like they've been like not just the illegals that have been caught with blowtorches in their hand. I mean, and like a person actually they went to their house and they were part of one of the climate fucking parties.
Ugh.
And they fucking arrested her on suspicion of arson.
Don't.
If that comes out being remotely fucking true, okay, you're now looking at 3 deadly fires and going that started within 24 hours of each other. Yeah. We're now talking about the largest arson fire in the fucking world.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't help. You got a bunch of purple-haired brigades out there, like lighting fucking bushes.
The purple hair brigade.
Like, there's nothing that says climate change other than let me start this fire in a windy day.
Yeah, Trump comes on power. Market's either gonna go like straight, parabolic and God candle, or it's gonna go down. Like crypto.
I mean, there's so much speculative buying going on right now in the market. You could probably throw a dart and make, a couple, double, triple gain.
That's why I'm like wondering if we're gonna get LAMBOLAND in 3 days. Is January 20th gonna be LAMBOLAND?
It's either gonna be LAMBOLAND or serious capitulation. You're gonna be melting faces. We might get our $1,000 Bitcoin again.
Definitely not.
Let's crush some souls.
Yeah,
like on the 19th. So
real
Sunday
quick,
night they sell all the Bitcoin from the government.
So real quick, I want to share with you guys.
Rug pulled to everybody.
I want to share with you guys the Rob Schneider bit, because remember I said that he turned hardcore and he's catching so much shit for it. But real quick, just let me show you this.
I mean, you start speaking truth, people get upset about that, bro.
Oh, what happened? The wrong one.
Make sure we don't get.
Hey, we see a
monetized channel.
We see a state map.
No, it was the wrong. It was the wrong one. There we go. Here we go. Look right here. It says Rob Schneider, failed actor and comedian. I don't think so, but
California
Failed back.
to approve slave reparations to be paid to people who were never slaves, to be paid for by people who never owned slaves, in a state that never had slaves. That's like paying child support for a child you never had to a woman you never fucked.
I mean, seriously, like it's ridiculous. You know, there's another really good one. But
Yeah,
YouTube
that's
decided
funny.
to change what was showing, so whatever.
I said, yeah, no, not tonight, buddy.
Like he was on like a college campus or whatnot. Like, you know how Steve Crowder does, something change my
Louder
mind.
with Crowder.
Yeah. And he was talking to some college student, and they were bringing up, transgender surgeries for kids.
Oh yeah,
And
sure.
And so he's like, if my son thinks he's a pirate, at what point is it okay for me to cut off his leg, gouge
him a-
out his eye, and give
Give
him
him
an
a
eye
wood
patch?
stump. Give him a wood stump and a hook.
And the guy was like, well, I think that's between a parent and a child. He's like, not when he's at 14. I mean, you can't rent a car unless you're 25 years
You're not
old.
gonna sit there and let your kids grab a fucking
then-
wire
and
and,
then
give them a wire and
went
tell them to
further
go
and
play
he
with the
said,
electrical socket.
What does Hertz, Enterprise, and all these other rental car companies know that these pharmaceutical companies don't know?
Everything.
So,
they're not
yeah.
mature enough to make informed decisions about driving. I don't know.
Oh no.
Hey man, a lot of those rental places fucking.
I heard a whisper. Is it time? Is it time for an announcement?
Lemon Tree Gang. What's up, John Jermaine?
Yo.
Yo.
Hey,
I actually
hey
have to pick
remember
my lemon
fucking
tree up from Sadie this weekend.
like all those car rental companies you speak of, they rented cars to the show Jackass.
Oh, nice.
They don't make good decisions either.
Right, but they were probably paid healthily too.
They knew they weren't going to make good decisions.
Oh yeah, they
Hey,
knew it was
they paid for the-
They
content.
saw them walk in and they said, "Yeah,
Yeah,
they
not
paid
gonna
for the
do
charged
$9
full
worth of
price
insurance
to rent each vehicle.
No, they paid for the $9 worth of insurance. That's all you have to do.
Yep. You can total that thing into a pancake.
Yeah, you can thank Jackass for that, babe. She's like, it's a lot more than $9 now, and I'm like, yeah, you can thank Jackass for that. They took
like,
car. They
what
took
do you
their
mean
car
you
to a
can crash it and
demolition
don't have to
derby.
pay?
Nope.
Deductibles $9. Damn.
It's like, for
It
$9,
used to be.
you could take it to a demolition derby. I was like, oh my god.
I remember them driving them back into the lot and they're all like fucked up. And I was like, wow. So,
I miss the wagons you used to be able to get in the back.
Oh yeah, and face backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can bring those
the,
motherfuckers back.
yeah, the full size Mercury station wagons.
Yeah. Chevy Caprice classic wagon.
Oh yeah.
You get that wood paneling too, you know.
I want to see FAs in the chat. Show me FAs.
FAs. Who's got it?
Yeah, the one that I had was actually just a 2-door.
A 2-door wagon? Nice.
Yeah, they were.
So like front seat
uber-
comes down, you can actually hop in the back seat, or
Yeah,
just-
you had to
just
fold
have
it.
the
Yeah,
back
you had to fold it down, and then the back seat would fold down too. And you'd have just like a whole bed back there. That was the shaggin' wagon with it was a Mercury. It was an '87 Mercury full size station wagon with the 5.0 motor in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it had the Mustang motor, dude. That thing was
shifter on the tree.
Ass. No, it was an Awful-matic.
Awful-matic.
About right.
Hey, when you're talking about American transmissions back
That sounds
then,
accurate.
that's the only way you can describe it, really. You
They
always
were
gotta
awful back then.
You gotta have a tinkering mind to have the patience to deal with that shit.
Oh no! That transmission was just so late. It was like a 5.0 motor with the transmission of Grandma's grocery getter.
Yeah.
Like you'd be able to melt
Burn
the
that shit
tires.
right up.
Oh, dude, you'd melt the tires off at first gear, and then it was just like lazy fucking extended shifts everywhere else. It was like, oh, come on, these fucking highway shifts. Yeah, exactly. It was just like so low. I changed the rear gear in the rear end on it. It kind of helped a little bit. I went to a 373 gear in the back. It kind of helped. But yeah, no, you could just tell the transmission was just like really lazy transmission.
Yeah. Wouldn't slip. It'd just take forever to engage.
Oh, yeah, it's just whoa. And you're like, come on, ship, whoa, ship, whoa.
You're like bumping the gas, like seeing if you can get a trip down.
Right, you're like taking your foot off the gas and then mashing it back down. You're like, yeah, no. Whoa,
you know,
whoa,
if you grew up with the, like, throttle
you're like, oh,
drives
come on.
you know, at least new
By the
kids,
way,
they
guys, smash that like button.
Hell yeah,
these
brother.
new kids, you know, with their flat drive-by wire and the braking by wire and by not wire. I mean, you know, everything's computer.
Right, with their sport mode buttons.
I know. Sport mode was downshifting back in the day,
man.
bro.
That was manually shifting. You're like, click, click.
I mean, I'd much rather prefer to own cars like from the 90s to 2000s era. That's really when they were like.
Seriously.
That's when they hit their peak. Cars in general.
They didn't have too many
You hit the
computer
brakes
chips.
and the boat would just lean forward and then just slide.
Yeah.
Oh, the wife was like, "Oh, I hated forward brakes. Was yours really touchy?" It was like, it was a full-size station wagon. You hit the brakes, and it was like, sure, the wheels would start slowing down, and then you'd feel the whole boat just kind of lean forward, and then you'd just hear your tires just sliding through. It's like, oh, God, too much brake. My shocks were bad. I was broke. I was lucky that I was able to afford a new center section for it for like fucking $300. Yeah, I think at that time, I think I was making a whole whopping $197 a week.
Damn, dude. Don't be calling bank accounts that shit. That damn guy, he's rich as fuck.
Right.
I think my very first paycheck from an actual job that wasn't like, working for somebody or like having a paper route was like $150 or whatnot. Making $5.25 an hour.
Big pumping.
And we didn't have any of the automated computer systems or anything.
Good.
Anytime somebody ordered popcorn, drinks, and candy, whatnot, we did all the math in our head.
This DCA adventure is rated F.
Is it time for an announcement?
Maybe.
So. Yes.
Is it time for an announcement, ladies and gentlemen? Yo. To all you sexy motherfuckers. DCA Adventures rated F for fucking awesome.
Oh, Frankie two times.
What up, Frankie?
Frankie 2 times. Yeah, we're still here.
2 times.
Yep,
2 times.
still hanging out on Friday nights, Saturday nights.
Yeah, you know, we always here. Depending on what time of the day, that's a different story, you know.
But we never left. We always
It's been a
been
while, yeah, man.
here.
Hope you've been well, man.
Right.
A lot changes in 5 years.
Hopefully your bag density has changed into the positive.
Right.
Good old dude.
Nobody likes those weak bags. No weak bags here.
Yeah, YouTube, doesn't like us
at all.
Yeah, we're
Doesn't like the channel.
They have removed quite a few of our videos.
Oh yeah, just straight gone. There's like whole blocks of like years, and then you're like, where did like April, 2021 into like June of 2021 go? It's like just gone, you know.
right. You'll find
how many
that
videos
some
do you
of
think
them.
they've taken, Mikkel?
Shoot,
Top of your head.
we've been 2 a week for
more
free.
than
Do the math consistently.
I'd say probably more than 20.
20 hours worth of
At
content. Minimum. Gone.
At least. The last time I even like looked at it, which it's been a minute.
Well, that's
So-
like back in the day when what was it, bit size went down. How many hours did it? Yeah, like 3,100 videos or something.
Yeah.
Poof, gone. Just because, oh man, you guys, we don't want you around here anymore. You smell. Get out of here.
A nice little Litecoin,
Dude, yeah, Litecoin.
the Litecoin
killing it,
event.
bro. Not
The
financial advice.
Litecoin event got announced. Very nice tech, man. Well, I hope you get to make both.
Anybody
Yeah,
still got
that's
any
fine.
Litecoin
Yeah,
left
I
over?
know.
Yeah. We wish we could go out there.
Yeah, me and them still have our own personal channel.
Yeah.
There's more of us to love now, you know?
Except when I'm gone for work, and you get very little of me to love.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah, it happens.
What happens? Stuff? Things?
Work.
Yeah. Yeah. Work does fucking happen for sure.
Work does fucking happen.
Nefarious
Yes.
hasn't been doing a whole lot. He's been working a lot. I talk to him every once in a while. Just because, like, yeah, I could drive over to his house right now and fucking be there in like an hour or less. But no, he hasn't been doing any videos. He's been kind of just busy, caught up in life.
Boo, boo life, boo.
Real life happens.
Yeah.
And he's still upright. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm still upright. It was always 12 ways for him. Yeah.
Well, Nefarious is a great guy, fucking heart of gold, big old teddy bear, right? He can't tell people no.
It's easy. You just look at him and be like, no.
He can't. He can't. So he gives himself 40 projects, and he needs to get 8 of them done in the next couple of days.
That's terrible.
Oh my god, yeah, it's a self-inflicted wound. I've told him that. that it's a self-inflicted wound.
Yeah, I mean, you can't hurt on a guy for just,
It's like I've
trying to
told
help,
him, I'm
but-
like, dude, you could
But he does
always
it.
call. You
Oh.
could always call me up. You know, I know the IT work like you do. I'm like, you can always call me up. I might need to know how to use your particular program. How long do you think it'll take me to figure it out? Me of all people. Yeah, he never calls me for help or anything. He just, I've been struggling, blah, blah, blah. I've done this, this, and this. I'm like, so you've been up in my neck of the woods. You could have just sent me to go do it for you.
That's right.
And he's like, I'm broke.
All he had to do was sing a simple song. I need somebody help. Not just anybody.
Yeah, and then he's like, I'm always broke. I'm broke. I need the money, and it's like, you can't complain then. I'd hate to live where he's at though. His office room. If he put it, he's in an apartment building, and the apartment building's actually got an HOA. If he puts a fan in his office window, they will fine him.
Yep. HOAs are like that.
Get him.
Just a fan.
Some of the
window.
worst ones are.
I'm like,
that.
well, what happens if you just put like a little portal, little hole thing that's like black and just real small? He's like, yeah, they'll still fine me for that. I was like, what happens if you leave the window open and put a fan away from the window?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, no, that's not allowed. If they could see the fan, it's not allowed. I was like, so you've got a room that you can't ventilate. Well, he's like, well, I've got my own AC unit. I'm like, but you mine enough that the AC unit cannot keep up with it. That's fucking house.
The AC unit can't keep up. It's the hot air has nowhere to go.
Yeah. Well, the AC unit that
all
he
you're
had,
doing is putting more air into the space. You're not taking anything out.
no, it recirculated. He had a like, it was an industrial unit, but it like the amount of heat he was putting into it overcame the heat exchanger on there. Like the heat exchanger couldn't exchange that kind of heat. It was probably like, maybe a 1600 BTU fucking unit, and he's making 2300 BTUs. Something's not matching up here.
Frankie, did you see the 5090D? And it's aimed at stopping crypto mining and AI.
It's aimed at stopping AI?
Yeah, and
crypto
mining. If it detects that AI is being used or mining is being used, it lowers the power limit, which is pretty interesting. And it's only the Chinese market.
It's only the Chinese market. Because certain mining algorithms hit the card kind of like it's trying to do AI. It's looking for a major consistent, like that sounds more like the LA they're trying to do an LHR again.
They are. Yeah.
And that means it can be all overcome in software. So that much won't make much of a difference to them. It'll just take them a little bit before they figure it out. They're not deterring anything. They're just slowing the inevitable down. The only thing that they could do is like just remove any of the AI capabilities out of the card. So it's got, it's not like the card has any real AI in it anyway.
Yeah, no.
Just like an extra turbo boost.
Right.
Turbo boost 3D.
So if it sees certain workloads, it's gonna fucking limit itself. So they didn't cut the card down to them at all.
So wait a minute. What if you're just a serious gamer?
You see, the LHR cards initially were affecting certain gamers.
Yeah, you throttle a card with software, it's gonna fuck up other things besides just the mining aspect of it.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
you
like
want a
certain
gaming card,
certain
you can't throttle that
workloads.
shit at all.
It's looking for a particular workload, and if any game hits it in that way, the moment it hits it, it's going to start immediately throttling itself.
Man, I'm getting late, boys. Shoot.
Yeah, dude, I feel you. Gotta get up. I
Okay,
gotta get up early.
it's been a hell of a week. I'm really
Yeah,
glad.
it was a long.
For Friday.
Yeah, I got
Glorious Friday.
2 days to get a presentation
Tomorrow's
together.
my Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see if my
What
thing
you
wants
got
to
there,
play
buddy?
with me.
The green screen hates you.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm actually gonna shut the green screen off just so that you guys
Ooh,
can
look like Chris.
actually
I feel special.
see.
I feel special. Oh, so special. Ooh.
Ooh, so pretty.
Until
That's the
you
thing.
see right below my finger.
In that big shadow?
Yeah, right here. That's not a shadow.
No, you had the shadow covering it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You can see the burn mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on the other side is a relay. The relay decided to give up. This is to my furnace.
Uh-oh.
So I had to get a new board in there.
Yeah.
I saw that and I'm like, well, it's got a part number, and since it's got a part number, I can order a new relay for it technically. And if I can order a new relay, that's what they call a single layer PCB. So whatever's
one layer.
burnt up, I can just drill it out and just put a wire down, and it should technically work. Everything else worked. It just wouldn't turn on the blower that like moved the heat into the house. Everything else would turn on like it was doing its job. Da, da, da.
Imagine that.
The part that needs to make heat.
So I was going to replace the relay, and then there's two resistors on there that look like they got kind of hot too. So replace all of that, and I bet you that board, there's nothing wrong with it.
You know what happens.
Yep. It's like a 30-year-old fucking unit. So I mean,
Dude, 30-year-old
Thanks.
IT parts? Man, you got your money out of that.
Oh, fuck yeah,
For real. It probably
Son
is
of a
better than
rabbit.
half of the new shit out there, too.
dude, it's so rudimentary on its single layer PCB that where it's jumping power through, it's just got like a piece of wire soldered in one side to solder into the other to jump the power over.
Yeah.
Because it's all single layer PCB, so there's only so many traces that they put, and then they got just jumper wires in there. I guess they're not really wires. I guess you call them like zero ohm resistors that fucking it's just a single piece of wire. Like a solid piece of wire that they solder in. It's hilarious. It's old school stuff. I love playing with it. It's so easy to work on. You're like, as long as the brain chip fucking hasn't fried out, you're good to go. And there's times where you're like, yeah, that should be fried out, and you replaced a couple of bad components. You're like, wow, this thing just fired back up. That's robust. Nothing modern today would ever do that. It fries out in the slightest little bit. Yeah, it's forever damaged.
Mm-hmm.
Run clean.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the reasons why I'm not looking at getting new cars anymore. Well, I'll stick with the 2000s and older.
Hey man, I'll stick to 95 and older.
Yeah. OBD2?
No, OBD1, buddy. OBD1. I don't want that fancy
95 was the last year for the OBD1, bro.
Yep, 95 and older. So not OBD1 and non-OBD.
Oh, there you go.
Fucking Newsom's like going
Yeah,
after
BD.
classic car culture. You know, he's. They
because
don't want
he's
classic
got
cars.
the climate Nazis out there screaming at him. It's like he's so retarded. So he sees like 20 people yelling at him, and everybody else isn't paying attention because they're too busy trying to live life. So these 20 people that are yelling at him, oh my God! He figures that's the voice of a lot more people. 20 people must equal 10,000 people. And that's 10,000 voters. So I must make sure that they're taken care of too, and they'll stop yelling at me. If I take care of them, they'll go away. Bro, I can't bring my Chevelle into California.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I can't. Okay, I'll give it better context than that. So if I want to bring my 74 Chevelle into California in the current state that it's sitting in, I can drive it all the way to California border. But as soon as I get to the California border, I've got to put it onto a flatbed and then trailer it to wherever I'm going to be parking it. Because it is illegal to drive my Chevelle, because my Chevelle no longer has catalytic converters and a charcoal and the original carburetor that allowed me to hook up the charcoal canister to the carburetor for evap system. Yeah. So because of that, I can't drive into California because I don't meet California emissions for 74, which was the first year for California emissions. My car is California compliant for 74. So because I don't have the catalytic converter anymore in there, I can't pass emissions.
Well, there's a lot of here's a fun thing. So with Newsom's we're going to have green cars. You know, it's like the largest green car company. I mean, there's so many things about Tesla right now, as well as rumor mills about them going under and even out of business.
I believe it. Go broke.
No, the Chinese market has the electric car industry cornered. I mean, absolutely cornered. They're number one electric car manufacturers in the world. The CEO for GM went down to China, checked out their electric EVs, and then imported the one that he was driving out in China back here. That should tell you a lot right there. They're like a decade more advanced than us on their electric. But out here, I mean, I don't know about China and how well they like their region out there and how cold they get in their infrastructure where they have the highest amount of electric vehicles. But like in my area, they're turning in their Tesla Cybertrucks and shit like that because one cold day and you can't go to work. You know, it's like that's not how you really want to be.
Yeah. It shuts it down so you don't damage the battery anyway, because you're not. I mean, what are you going to be charging at -10?
Well, I mean, like let's say like we get polar vortexes from Canada, you know, fuck Canada, and you know we can go as low as with no wind, 30 below zero. So if that lasts a day or two, that means anybody who owns a Tesla in my area is not going to be able to go to work.
Well, this isn't going to help them much.
You watch this guy
like
too.
Cybertruck
He's a bit of a guy who's in the weeds
miserably.
a little bit too much.
Now they're scaling down production. They are taking workers off of there and moving them somewhere else to build Model Ys and other ones. Model Y is one of their big sellers. The Cybertruck obviously is not. And of course, old Elon's not going to be broadcasting this. This is from insiders working at the factories telling people. The workers were told this. And I quote, it's hilarious. As we continue to assess schedules to meet business needs, we'll be making a change to Model Y and Cyber schedules. And we want you to ensure that your preferences are considered. Yeah, like they care what the guys working there are making, right? But
he's got good information from the time to time.
It's amazing.
He's got good information from time to time, but he does go into the conspiracy theory of weeds of the car industry too. So I take him with a huge grain of salt. Yeah, huge.
But
unless I can confirm it,
vehicles is still spot on.
If I can confirm what he's talking about,
because his knowledge of vehicles is just spot on.
Yeah, but whenever it comes down to like the business aspects, I like unless somebody else I can confirm it with, like I'm just like, yeah, I write him off. I mean, yeah, for cars themselves and how they work, how they get sold, yeah, he knows what he's talking about. He's been in the industry for long enough. He should know.
Well, I think so. I've noticed a change in his content as far as a lot of his titles are becoming more clickbait. You know, he's gotten wiser, or he's hired a team that's gotten wiser to what makes the algorithm tick. And so, you know, sometimes the titles allude to one thing, but as he's talking about it, it's slightly different. You know, so
right. It's that shocking statement that
yeah, you gotta have something that grabs people's attention and it makes them click to watch the video.
6-second long transitions in every video.
That's why I put down, you know, in the title, 3 days till LAMBOLAND. You know, it's like people are like, what the hell is he talking about? 3 days until LAMBOLAND. Why? What's LAMBOLANd?
LAMBOLAND. We've been there so many times with no Lambos to show for it.
I know, right?
Welcome to LAMBOLAND. It's like, imagine being able to pick up a Lambo for about 2.5 Bitcoin.
Imagine being able to hold on to your Bitcoin because inflation wasn't that bad.
All right, well, it's like 10:14.
Well, in that case, why don't you tell us what's happening tomorrow?
I have no idea.
He's like, I'm fried, to be honest.
Yeah.
He's like, he's not going live tomorrow. Probably, he's probably got to work tomorrow. But we will definitely have your same normal lineup. We're gonna have Serpent. We're gonna have Rabbit Mining. We'll have Red Panda. Not sure who else goes live on Saturday.
The Saturday morning lineup, that's what's going to go on.
That's
right. Whoever else is on the Saturday morning lineup on there, like I may or may not.
You said them all.
Nice. I may go live on crypto and hot rods, maybe. Depends on what I got going on for tomorrow. Otherwise, thank you everybody for being here. I think we need an announcement before we get up out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, buckle your seatbelts. 3 days away. We're getting a change. And you know what I'm talking about. By the way, DCA Adventures rated F for fucking awesome.
Yo. And with that being said, guys, peace out. Stay savage. And we'll see you on the next one. Yo.
Next one.
Peace out, guys.
Later.